Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
Welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. But for a radio audience tuning in at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com, we're glad that you all can be with us. Also, those joining us through iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Broadcasting, we're glad you all could be with us as well. But we know that streaming is the place that a lot of us are able to watch a lot of great shows. And if you guys are someone who loves to stream, there's a new show I know you guys are going to love. It's called Union. We're going to talk to you guys today to one of the stars of the show, and that is the one and only Tommy Davidson. You guys know him as an actor, comedian, and author. He wrote a book I was just telling him that I love myself called Living in Color, What's Funny About Me. We're going to talk to Tommy not only about the new show, but also what it's been like for him to reflect on his career. And, of course, we'll let you guys know how you can watch Union for yourself. Tommy, thank you again for the time. Really do appreciate it.
Oh, you got it. All day long, man. I'm right here.
Well, Tommy, this is exciting. First of all, congratulations on the new show, Union. As I mentioned, it is now streaming for our audience to be able to see on a free platform. We're going to let them know about that, and has a talented cast with it. But what has it been like for you already, Tommy, to see the early response to it?
It's been really invigorating to have a show come out of my hometown and launched in a brilliant way and composed, I guess that's some music, but put together in a brilliant way, and then having it actually broadcasted throughout the new media, the new mass media, is kind of like a miracle.
Yeah.
You know, so it's showing you the expanse, the expanse and the width of the reach of entertainment, because it's really jet setting, really, because it's basically starting to reach into corners of the media that haven't been exploited before. It's kind of like in Living Color. We went onto a news network, and we were broadcasted through a national news network, and that network became a huge, big network because of it.
Such a great thing, and such a great point, too, and I'm glad you made that parallel there. We're going to let our audience know, but, of course, they can be able to watch Union on the District of Columbia Entertainment, that's DCE. We're going to remind them how they can be able to visit their favorite platform and be able to download the channel there. Tommy, your career is one that people have marveled at, because you not only have had the longevity, but you also have had this opportunity to not only to entertain, but also to inspire. What has that been like for you to know that something that you love so much has also inspired and entertained so many?
I just am grateful for the process that brought me here. You know, I followed a dream. I followed a friend of mine, Howard, that said, you don't have to be an assistant chef at the Ramada Inn. You can go to Hollywood and do anything you want to do. And it started there. And to be here in this place for that long and still feeling the same way that I do about it and I do about people is make my life worth living.
And I think one of the things that people have seen about you, Tommy, is that you are so comfortable in your own skin. If you don't mind, I want to share something from your book. I mentioned the book is called Living in Color. We're going to actually link it up for you guys on the radio side, but also for those joining us on the podcast. Because, Tommy, when I read your book, this statement to me was so powerful, not only because of you being someone in Hollywood where you all are bringing other people to life, but I think where so many people struggle to be themselves. This is what you wrote. You said, my perception of that ideal person I wanted to be was taking things too far. I had charted too perfect a path for myself where there was no room for mistakes. It wasn't an ego thing. It was more like a survival thing. If I can be perfect, then I can right all the wrongs I see, and everything about that premise is wrong. I had to learn that I was not in control of everything, and I had to pass the mantle of all-powerful, all-seeing, all-knowing to a higher power. Me, I was just human. I wasn't Dorothy in the Magic Kingdom of Oz. I was Dorothy in Kansas, taking shelter with her family from a tornado. I had to learn to forgive myself and accept myself, perfect human being that I am. before I could stand a chance of being back among society, I had to be willing to say that just being Tommy Davidson was enough. I want to ask you about that because I think that's such a big thing about your career. What has it been like for you to realize that just by being you, that is enough?
By realizing that I was putting the cart before the horse, and I was depending on external forces to give me my self-worth, as opposed to my internal self giving me that through just the fact that I'm a human being, not a human doing. And so that was a painful path for me, and is always a painful path for a person to get humble and to get grateful, because we're not living in a world where those two words matter a lot. If you have a money that says, if you have a world that says, get money, get things, get here, be this, do that, then that's what you chase. If you come here like, let's say Bambi, all the animals in the forest love you because you're there, and you're right with them. And it's the turtles, it's the rabbits, it's everybody, And it seems like the only thing that shook that balance is man. So, we've got to kind of go back to the very beginning. So it's not only a personal experience that bred that virtue.
Right.
It's also an exterior reality that will bred that virtue for us. We one finger to push one button to destroy the place, and we've made so many bombs that you can destroy the place 2,000 times. What kind of power are we looking for?
And that's an important question, Tommy, especially as we kind of look at, again, what's happening with your profession and the entertainment industry, and power is such a big part of that. But I think the thing that comes across, and I've seen it with you in doing other interviews and talking about union, but also, of course, looking at this cast, the other thing that comes across is the power of togetherness. And you have a very talented cast that is working with you on union. I mean, Ernest Thomas, people know him, of course, from What's Happening. Of course, we have Troy Jackson, Vernon Davis. What was it like for you to be a part of this talented ensemble when it comes to this new broadcast?
Because we knew we had to make it work. A team effort was going to make it work. And it was good to be in that atmosphere again. It doesn't really necessarily take a team effort in the higher up projects. You got the people that are important and the people that ain't. With In Living Color and with really, really, to me, superior projects where everybody is included. Everybody's a part of the process. The writers were a part of our process. The key grips, the cameramen, the lighting, the costumers. We all gave feedback to the material.
Right.
And we were all present while we were doing it. Everybody stood around the camera while we did the show. So the people from props, naturally there, but the people from costumes, people from makeup, they're all standing there watching it and laughing and loving it, because they've been included in being a part of it. It's kind of like a factory where each single worker has ownership. It would be a whole different thing. Imagine the efficiency.
And Tommy, it's so funny hearing you say that, because you talk about that in the book. And the other thing that you mentioned is another big part of what that was, and that's like the Fly Girls, right? I mean, still being a part of that, again, of that big family there. Do you think that type of success has helped to prepare you for, I mentioned in my introduction about the longevity. Do you think that the lessons you've learned along the way from In Living Color, all the other projects you've worked on, have kind of helped you where you are today?
Yes, that is what got me here today. And Jim will tell you the same thing. David Allegretti will tell you the same thing. Kim Williams will tell you the same thing. Jamie Foxx will tell you the same thing. David Allegretti will tell you the same thing. It just goes down the line. because we were a part of a vehicle that came from a very smart and genius in touch person. And he included us in a vision that he had that came from his hard work and from his discoveries, and him being a pioneer and doing things for the first time. Him sharing that was the element that made it work.
You also talk about in your book about the balance, and another thing that you wrote that I think is so powerful is this, Tommy. I don't anymore because I can't control what other people are doing. I can watch them, enjoy them, appreciate what they do, and learn from them, but I can't be them, and they can't be me. I can only be me. I think so many times in the world we live in today, and we kind of come full circle with this conversation, right, because we were talking about streaming in this new show, but there's so many people trying to be the next X, Y, and Z. Talk to us about that, what that's been like for you to show the importance and the power of just being yourself.
Well, to be void of competitivism in a society that thrives on it and depends on it economically is just purely kind of a miracle. But going back to self, being able to share what you have, being able to share your experiences, and know that you can't do it with everybody, there's a freedom in it. I was telling somebody this morning that when I'm on the set with other actors, and especially when I'm in an atmosphere where there's actors and other entertainers who are doing things that are immensely successful and lucrative, for me to allow that and not compare it. Try to break it down to real basic rudiments. My greatest accomplishment is being Barbara Davidson's youngest son, Tommy. Let me say Tommy. Tommy was a great kid. Tommy loved everybody. Tommy was helpful. He loved music. He wanted to bring the best out of everything, and that's the guy that I am now. I had to go back to my true self, which is that one. But I'm human. The 7 deadly sins apply to me just like anybody else.
Right.
We come here with these needs and these instincts to have, and sometimes we overrun them.
Right.
That's why we've been all these years. There's been some human beings that kind of cataloged what principles would help us with that.
And that's why people appreciate you so much, Tommy. Tommy, I really appreciate this conversation with you, and congratulations again to you and the rest of the cast on the show Union. So I want to walk our audience through again how you guys can see Tommy Davidson and the talented cast of the new show Union. Again, it's streaming right now on DCE, so that's District of Columbia Entertainment. All you have to do to access DCE is just visit your Apple TV, your Amazon Fire TV, Roku, download the channel. It's also available on your mobile as well through your iPhone or Android by downloading DCE TV. You guys can be able to watch it there. For those joining us online via the podcast, we will put a link for you guys there to make it a little bit easier for you to be able to navigate it. Again, Tommy Davidson has been our guest. Also, make sure you guys check out Tommy's book if you have not read it, Living in Color, What's Funny About Me. And Tommy, before you get out of here, let me ask you, how can our audience stay connected with you?
It's easy. The Tommy Davidson will give you everything. IG is The Real Tommy Cat, and that should cover us.
All right. Well, Tommy, congratulations to you again, and thank you again for the time. Really do appreciate it.
Thank you too, man. Have a good day. Thanks for the question.
Hey, you as well. Thank you. And we want to thank our friends at Double Exposure Media Relations for setting up this chat with us for today. And we want to thank all of you for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Let's go make today amazing. Take care.